Hey everyone, in this week's video we took a trip to Independence Hall and the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia, and so I decided to post the trip and the tour that we took of Independence Hall. The Liberty Bell, you just go up yourself to go and see the Liberty Bell, but the tour of Independence Hall was excellent. Our tour guide from the Parks Department was very, very good. He was knowledgeable about the history, and just to be in the room where our founding fathers signed the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution was just really, really cool. So I hope you enjoy this video. As always, if you haven't already, please sign up for the channel and hit the like icon, as that really helps out the videos. Okay, enjoy our trip to Independence Hall and the Liberty Bell.
Well, that's the ROTC, so it could be a high school. It's like a high school to me. Celebrate. Might be Korean.
Liberty Bell's right out there, I guess.
I knew full well that the president had not supported abolition in life. But on December 29th, I preached the president a praise song that was hoping that maybe from the dream George Washington could convince Americans to do in their lifetimes what he had not done.
His wagon to Washington City 2018 right time. It's pretty with this big grassy park, huh?
This is Independence Hall.
Yeah. Leviticus 25, verse 10. Yeah, you want to read this? That's how the bell got cracked. What's that? Oh, I don't know. It didn't say. That's the Liberty Bell. Yeah.
I would think it would be a lot bigger, huh? Can you do a selfie?
Yeah, we're gonna go up there.
Oh, Independence Hall.
And Independence Hall in the background. It's pretty cool.
Underneath the Liberty Bell.
Big crowd. could check that out too after the tour. National Constitution Center.
Let's walk down there.
Moving for me again.
I'm gonna throw it away. I can put it in my pocketbook.
Go, France, Josephine.
We have to go between these three arches.
But we have to go to the left side. Flash photography, get ready for the flash. Lots of lights.
That would be appropriate.
Quando esci da casa, se c'è freddo, ti si accomoda il
Okay, statue of George Washington right there.
The door to your right, please. To your right to go in. Guys, you want to go to your right-hand side, ladies and gentlemen. Folks, as you go in, please go to your right-hand side. Right side, please. Guys, you can get closer. I won't bite you. I won't bite you. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention, please. I do want to welcome you to Independence Hall. This is our first stop. I did mention we would be stopping in a courtroom. But I'm willing to bet, at least for a lot of you, had I not called it a courtroom, I'm guessing some of you at least would have figured it out on your own. Look around the room. It's got a basic layout, if you think about it for a moment, of this current U.S. courtroom. From the space where you folks currently stand, you're the public, are you not? Public trial, last time I checked, still out of the rule here in this minute. Judges tend to sit on an elevated bench, witnesses to one side, a jury to another. Then there is, of course, this side I'm not leaning against. You all have these in U.S. courtrooms today, don't you? Cages? No, wait a minute, that doesn't look right. It's called a prisoner's dock. It's an old English custom back then and there when they said stand trial. Guess what? Yeah, they actually meant stand. Now I have to ask you guys, do I look innocent until proven guilty? No, not really. You are. By the law, you're innocent until proven guilty, even in something like this. God bless you. What I'm trying to get here is by looking at the room, you can see some of the stuff they actually fought about during the Revolution. I know here in this country we tend to sum it up in one reason. No taxation without representation. Excellent. But there's actually more to it, guys. If you ever read the Declaration of Independence, ignore the fact that, yeah, it doesn't mention taxes one time. A lot of the rest of the rights they talk about they're fighting for are legal rights, guys. But I'm going to take advantage of the fact that the room is available. Let's go over and see where they declared American independence, guys. Hopefully no one has any personal bubble issues. Keep moving in to make sure everybody can actually get in. Keep come on in, folks. There is still more room, I promise you. No one should be standing in the halls unless for some reason they like to stand in the halls. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the birthplace of the United States. We all saw this room just a few minutes ago with paintings. It is the same room where they signed both the Declaration and the Constitution about 11 years apart. But in 1775, when delegates from all 13 colonies this time started to arrive and walk on in, they found out, yes, the king had ignored us. He'd never heard of Continental Congress. His ministers refused to deal with our petition. And yes, a fight had erupted. Neither where we wanted it nor when we wanted it, we still had to deal with the fact that it had occurred. Now what do we do about it? Is that our fight, or is it just New England's concern? Yeah, because New England had rallied. Massachusetts, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, they're all sending troops. But I'm down here in Philadelphia, why should I care? You have to remember a couple things. We're not quite that united at this point. Regardless of what Patrick Henry likes to say in his stirring speeches, I do not think there is anything close to being called an American at this point. We are New Englanders, Pennsylvanians, South Carolinians, Virginians, and so on and so forth. We're getting there. One of the first biggest steps we take is deciding that that fight outside of Boston, Massachusetts, is the fight of all of us. We're going to organize. We're going to call that army, and I use that term loosely, a continental army. It's more than 90% New Englanders. And you would think, maybe you agree or disagree, that the logical thing to, if we're going to send someone to command it, would be someone from New England, right? Help me out here, guys. Where's George Washington from?
Virginia.
Virginia. He's not a New Englander. That's another step in the right direction. You want to show this is the fight of all 13 colonies. Don't send someone from New England, send someone from outside New England. Washington made a lot of sense. He's a Virginian, it's the most powerful colony. He has military experience. He rides off to command an army, though, that lacks a mission. Can you really tell me what we're fighting for in 1775? I'm sure you get 13 different answers from 13 different people, so to speak. Because are we fighting for our rights as Americans? Yeah, there's probably some light-eyed New Englanders. Maybe the Adams boys, John, his cousin Sam, Hancock, and a few others that are already starting to talk about that. You know, but probably still are still saying we're fighting for our rights as British subjects. Believe it or not, being a subject of King George III back then, by and large, is not a bad thing. You have a lot of personal freedom and liberty that a lot of people in other European colonies or countries would have killed for. You know, almost as soon as Washington got off his horse, we wrote out something called the Olive Branch Petition, where we begged, pleaded with the king to intervene on our behalf. We are your loyal subjects, Your Majesty. You say the word, and all can be forgiven. The king is handed an opportunity on almost a silver platter to end this war, and what does he do again? Ignores us. He declares us an open rebellion before we can admit it to ourselves. He hires illegitimate German mercenaries to help prosecute his war. And free and independent states. Finally, the dam is broken, we can discuss it, and we do so only briefly, before we realize that if we're going to do this, if we're truly going to vote for the vote for independence, we need something telling people why, something maybe called a Declaration of Independence. At this point, Congress had a problem. They did what they always did when they had a problem. They formed a committee. John Adams just complained at one point he was on over 30 different committees. They chose 5 men. You've heard of 3 of them. If you know your U.S. history, they're standing right in front of me. We have Mr. Thomas Jefferson, we have Mr. John Adams, and we have Mr. Benjamin Franklin. You've heard the names? Yes. Now we know Jefferson here will write most of the draft. That goes without saying. Mr. Adams, Mr. Franklin do assist him. But when he's finished, he believes the document to be perfect. It should be adopted immediately. The problem at this point is Jefferson is a writer by trade. He's by no means a really good public speaker. You ever meet anyone like that? One-on-one, they're fine. Ask them to speak to even a nice friendly crowd like you all, they'll freeze up in a heartbeat. Now standing next to his colleague, Mr. Adams, is a self-described annoying and obnoxious fellow. Mr. Adams loves to be the center of attention. Mr. Adams loves all eyes on Mr. Adams. I'm sure you've all probably met someone like John Adams. Yes. But John Adams is necessary at this point. We joke, annoying, obnoxious people. But you have to remember, Jefferson's words can only carry these men so far. You need a John Adams in that room to give them that push, convince them, tell me why I should vote for this declaration. Which was a bummer to me when I first learned about it more than a decade and a half ago. You know, because I'm assuming, like most people here, if you're raised in this country, you'll learn about one copy in school. The version in the archives, right? One with the signatures doesn't exist. When they voted for it, you know what they had? Looked a lot like that. I notice this is not one piece of paper. It has changes, it has alterations. As good as John Adams was, they still made about 40 changes. What Jefferson wrote. They took that, took it to the printer, and said, make us copies as fast as possible. We want to get our message out. We want to get our information out first and fastest. We'll sign it later on. They'll write it out when they get to it. It's an afterthought. I know it's sometimes a little bit of a letdown because we hear about historians talking about these men signing their own death warrants, which is true. But unless you stumbled upon Congress, by and large, you have no idea it's been signed. You know, and a declaration is another step in the right direction towards that idea of becoming Americans. But you need to actually convince the British to leave. The declaration is not going to do it. You know, we need a victory or two on the battlefield. And by and large, we're having trouble doing that. The biggest battle of the Revolutionary War is one most people have never heard of. You know, we know Bunker Hill, we've heard of Saratoga sometimes, we know the Battle of Yorktown. This occurred on September 11th, 1777. It is called the Battle of Brandywine. It's in defense of the city. I would love to tell you it's an American victory. I would be lying to you. The city will fall. This will be an occupied city. We walk around, we're actually commemorating it this weekend in a much more elaborate fashion than before. But 242 years ago, and 2 days ago, the British Army marched into the city. This building you're in was a barracks for British troops. Have you ever wondered why Valley Forge? It's because the British were here in Philadelphia. That army that fought for our independence. These men who are in this room, yes, they declare independence. They talk of ideals. You know, they run a war from this room. But what about the guys and gals doing the fighting and the dying? You know, because there are men and women. You know, we do have some accounts of women taking up the skies, or ladies just follow the army, doing what they can for the cause. Believe it or not, it is an integrated army. You won't see it again until Vietnam, but about 15% of the troops that fought are African American, both free and enslaved. There are Native Americans in the ranks. These are individuals that are not doing it for great pay. When they do get paid, it's mostly worthless paper. The food, read about it, would feed it to my dog in many cases. You know, the warm clothes, no. Why then? Why did they fight? The ideals of the Declaration of Independence, really? You know, was it Thomas Paine's common sense, which was written a little bit more towards their end? You know, was it the loyalty to the man next to them, or to Washington? I don't know, but I keep looking for the answer. It won't be until 1783, 7 years after the Declaration of Independence, that the British actually go home. We're now on our own, ladies and gentlemen. Now let me ask you a question. What are we? In 1783, can you tell me what we are? Are we a nation? Or are we a collection of states that sort of get along when we're in the mood? We are states that lack a common currency. We are states that lack common agreement on borders. We are states that lack an ability to pay our bills. We're bankrupt. We have no common judiciary, no common head of state. We are 13 states pulling in 13 different directions. What we call today the Constitutional Convention was an attempt to solve some of those issues. They went a lot further than anyone planned. Now, there are two men beating the drums for this meeting. One is James Madison. He's going to work on Virginia. The other guy doing what he can, a man named Alexander Hamilton. They want this meeting to happen, and they get close to what they want. They got 12 of 13 to show up. 55 men spent some time here in this room. You might be from one of those states that doesn't have a lot of people. You want your vote to count for that little? You can understand why those smaller states back then fought for a co-equal branch. That's the U.S. Senate. What about leaders? What about head of state? We don't have one before. Can we create it? And can we do it where it doesn't become a king? How do all eyes, when they talked about this position, focused on the man sitting behind me? I'm sorry, should be sitting behind me. See the chair up there on the platform? It's called today the Rising Sun Chair. It is the only chair we have in this room I can prove is actually in this room. You look at the items in the room, books here, it's all period antique, it's all appropriate, it's all 200 plus years old. Was it actually here? I have no way to tell. You know why? They don't label things the way I would like. You label your furniture at home, what chair you sit on and what day. You're robbing future historians of knowing potentially where you sat on a certain day. You understand what I mean? We can't prove anything other than that. But why did they focus in on him? Because of an act he did. You know? On Christmas Eve, 1783, the old State House in Annapolis, Maryland, General George Washington resigned his post as commander of the Continental Army. The man who had led us to victory, led us to independence. Hancock's long gone, Franklin, he's been over in Europe, Adams and Jefferson. Jefferson's home in Virginia, I know on its way. No one else has been around that long. Washington has been the only constant. He could have been a Napoleon Bonaparte or a Julius Caesar, or whatever name you want to use in history. Instead, he went home. In his mind, to be a farmer. Yes, I know Mount Vernon is a plantation, but that's what he thought of himself as, a farmer of this land. And if you want to talk about the Constitution, you have to talk about slavery. It's a topic that's brought up. Certain men in the room said, leave it alone. Give it a generation or two. The way things are going, it'll just fade away. It'll disappear. Other men in the room said, abolition of some kind, or recolonization, send them back. The problem, too many men in this room, from both sections, north and south, were more than willing to make a deal. They were making either too much money off the institution, or honestly did not care. And it takes us nearly 80 years of bloody civil war, the deaths of 700,000 Americans, give or take, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to our Constitution, to begin to right the wrongs of men committed here that day. But I want to ask you a question, guys. I'm going to wrap it up with one question, and I don't want an answer. I like to make you think. Here's my question, guys. From the moment they signed the Constitution, here in this room on September 17th, to the present day, September 28th, 2019, with all we've done to it, do you think we have further to go? Or have we finally done what the founders called for? What's my Gouverneur Morris way? In order to create a more perfect union. I'll go a little bit further. Do you think the ultimate fate of the country, the Constitution, and what it means to be an American rests in the hands of these men? Rest in all appearance. My final thoughts is courtesy of the oldest man to sign both of the documents. You may have heard of him, called Benjamin Franklin here. On his way home, he stopped along the way by the wife of the mayor of Philadelphia. Dr. Franklin, what kind of government have you gotten for us? The reply, a republic, if you can keep it. And that thought, ladies and gentlemen, I actually tragic and terrible news for you. Yeah, I'm basically done. I have shown you what I can show you. I've told you what I can tell you. Now, we all got to come in the front door. We all get to go out the back door. You have a moment or two to take additional photos. Well, we can already hear the other group coming in. I'll be by the back door if you have any questions. Thank you for coming. Have a lovely day. Well done, guys. Thank you.
Declaration of Independence on each piece of paper.
need a nap too.
Thank
Want
you.
to trade places?
Thank you. Excellent
Thank you.
job.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.